So corporate meetings, incentives, and events. Royal Caribbean is the leader in the cruise industry. Why? Our ships are the most innovative ships built for business. We were the leaders when we introduced rock climbing wall, ice skating rink, flow rider, um, the bumper cars. There's so many activities on the different classes of ships on board that our MICE groups use this for team building, and you'll see this in the presentation. Just 1 second here. Let's see. So innovation, as I mentioned, Royal Caribbean has the most innovative ships in the cruise industry. We're the ones that introduced, again, the rock climbing wall, the ice skating rink, the flow rider, bumper cars. There's so many activities on board that you can use for team building. Meeting space. We have dedicated meetings facilities on board of our ships. When you request a proposal, we're just not going to send you a proposal. We want to know exactly what is the ship, what is the group want to accomplish? Do you need any meeting space? Do you need any breakouts? Because what we're going to do is that particular ship and sail day that we're going to quote you, we need to make sure that the conference center is available or any type of venues. So we have the largest venues afloat, anywhere from 500 guests up to 1,400 guests in the theater. What do you use these venues for? Welcome receptions, farewell receptions, handout welcome packets, you name it. There's no cost, and we'll cover that in a few slides coming up. There's no cost to use these venue spaces. There's a minimal cost if you do have like a production and a presentation where the you'll have to pay for the audio visual technicians. Very minimal. It's $100 an hour, and we'll cover that. Customization. We can do so much customization on board our ships, but also on land. So again, as I mentioned earlier, what is the group want to accomplish? The welcome reception, a farewell reception? Do they want to do a scavenger hunt on board, meeting space? Do they want to do a dine around in our specialty restaurants? So it's all about customizing your program on board, but also we'll ask you when we arrive in Nassau, for example, what would the group like to do? Perhaps you want to look at the list of our shore excursions, and maybe the VIPs want to do a private excursion, and the rest of the participants want to do a separate type of excursion. So it's all about customizing the program and being as different as possible as your previous program, especially on land. The dedicated team that I mentioned earlier, the largest team in the cruise industry for both charter sales, charter operations, and my sales and operations. You have the team that's here. Once your contract is signed, you're passed over to our corporate event planner that will start planning the program with you and speaking directly with the ship to block all the venue spaces. Also, when you arrive on board, all of our ships have group coordinators. It's like a convention services manager. The group coordinator will greet you and you'll have a pre-con meeting, and then you'll go ahead and go through the entire program from day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. We have a lot of programs that send over multiple boxes for turn down gifts. So we also want to make sure that those are already on board and that we go through the list of which boxes to be delivered on which date. You might have VIPs that receive box number 1, and then 2 and 3 will be for the participants. So it's in that detail. We also have what we call a week of sailing, even a month sailing before. We have a call with the group coordinator and yourself. And again, we go through the entire program day by day. And there's where you can make any type of changes for the program, or just check and balances to make sure that everything is as you have requested. We get a lot of questions still. Oh, you're Royal Caribbean. You're only in the Caribbean? We are not. We visit multiple destinations. Royal Caribbean, we are in the Caribbean. Yes, we sail out of Miami, out of Fort Lauderdale, out of Tampa, out of Galveston, Texas, but we also sail out of in the Med, for example. So we sail out of Barcelona, out of Rome, out of Venice, out of Athens, out of beautiful Southampton. And we do a lot of short cruises as well. You'll see some 2-night cruises, which are perfect for meetings. There's 3 nights, 4 nights, and longer. We are also in Asia, so we sail out of Singapore, out of Shanghai, out of Hong Kong, out of Japan. So we have that destination, and we also have Australia, New Zealand. But let's not forget Alaska. Alaska is very, very popular for MICE groups, sailing round trip Seattle or sailing Vancouver to Seward. So those are beautiful itineraries. We have 28 ships, soon to be 29 ships worldwide. So we have a ship for you. Our unique venues, for example, as you see here on the left hand in the middle is our Studio B. We have many ships that have Studio B, which is the ice skating rink with some fabulous ice shows. But the good thing is that you can use this event space at no cost. We do need to cover the ice, of course, but it's a multi-million-dollar AV equipment here where you can do any type of presentation, a welcome reception, you name it. Capacity 700 seated and 900 when you cover the floor. Dedicated conference facilities, as you see here. We can do different setups, which we'll show you coming up. Our amazing Broadway style shows, not only the ice shows, but we also have Broadway style shows in the main theater, which are incredible. I mean, you don't have to bus anywhere, all the participants anywhere. Everything is on board. It's a one-stop shop. The land programs that I mentioned, the Shore Excursion Department sits here in the MICE department. So we work directly with them to customize your program, and the cost effectiveness, of course, which is really incredible. Did you know that a cruise program on board Royal Caribbean is a savings about 30% minimum? 30% minimum when you compare to a land-based resort. Why? All your meals are included. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, the entertainment is included. The meeting space is included. Standard AV is included. Everything is included. So it's a huge savings when you put it side by side to a land-based resort. We have photographers and production staff on board. We have beverage options. So for example, for MICE groups only, the deluxe beverage package is $75 per person per day, which includes gratuities. And that also gives you the option of having a welcome reception or a farewell reception on board that's already included. If you hold and wait to book that on board the ship, it's over $105, $110 per person. So it's a savings. We also offer what we call the corporate amenity points. So every sailing has minimum 4 points. And what you use those points for is to buy amenities. For example, maybe you want an onboard credit in the cabin of each participant, or maybe you want to welcome wine or champagne, etc., with a note from you, bon voyage. So you can use those gap points for that. Our generous comp policy and attrition policy. So we have what we call like the tour conductors. So for every 15 sailings, 16 guests, the 17th is free. So that means that they don't pay the cruise fare. They just pay the taxes and fees. And again, as I mentioned earlier, team building activities. There's so much that we can do on board, and it's all, like I mentioned, a one-stop shop. So Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, the lifestyle on board, the entertainment that I mentioned, the signature activities that we have, the dining, because not only do we have the complimentary main dining room where everyone sits together and you can have, you can put like 10 cards on the tables or company flags. For example, in the main dining room, we had an insurance company that brought runners and put them on the table. They also gave their pins to the waiters. So it was a nice personal touch to look at the waiters taking your order, and there was on the lapel, there was the company pin. So there's so much we can do on board: the lounges, the meeting space, the service. Really, Royal Caribbean service on board is like no other cruise line. It's a continuous training that we offer to them. And let's not forget the spas on board Royal Caribbean, which will also ask you if we can help you to book any appointments, especially for your VIP guests. So, as I mentioned, 29 ships, different classes. Our ships are by classes. So Vision class, which is our smallest ships at around 1,000 guests. The Voyager class, which is around 3,400. Radiance class, etc. So what determines a class is the what we offer on board, whether it's the Flow Rider, they all have rock climbing, of course, the bumper cars. There's different activities on board our different class of ships. And there's also specialty dining, etc., that you can customize your program. And of course, we introduced not too long ago the Icon class, which is about 7,000 guests when you add the triples and quads. These ships are really a marvel of engineering. And if you haven't been on one of our ships, please let your sales manager know, because we can put together what we call a site walkthrough on any of the ports worldwide. We can arrange a walkthrough where we can come on board, spend the day, look at the ship's venue spaces, some of the cabins, have lunch on board, and you can see firsthand what our ships look like and the venue spaces that we offer. We also offer what we call a sailing site inspection. So if you sail on any of our ships, an itinerary that maybe one of your clients is looking for, and the group materializes, we give you a credit for that site inspection that you sailed that you sailed on. Our common ship features, as I mentioned, the rock climbing wall, the Broadway style shows, beautiful pools that we have. We also have on all of our ships what we call the solarium pool. So not only the family pool, but the solarium pool, which is for adults only. You can do buyouts of a solarium pool, for example, or any of the neighborhoods if you're looking for an Oasis class ship. Meeting and event spaces, which are just incredible. This is again Studio B, the ice skating rink. As you can see, the floor is covered. So the ice floor is covered. And you can see right there on the bottom left, there's a cocktail reception that's just to happen right before. So we took this picture so you can see what it would look like. Our conference facilities, which we'll ask you in advance, do you need U-shape? Do you need theater style? Do you need classroom style, so we can have this set up? So it's a great venue at zero cost for you and your clients. These are the different setups. So classroom style, theater style, etc. And we can do also some breakfast items at a very minimal cost. We can do lunch items, etc. We do have some continuing educational programs that spend the entire day in this room, just in meetings all day, and they just enjoy dinner. Our beautiful theater, our beautiful theater that holds up to 1,400 guests. This is used by, we book a lot of what we call like the Amways of the world, the Herbalifes of the world, Nu Skin. They love to cruise because of the big savings, and of course they have very large programs. So they use the theater for general sessions. Of course, it seats up to 1,400 guests. As I mentioned, the Studio B, 700 seated, and up to 900 when you use the floor. On the right-hand side, that picture, this was a restaurant company that had their incentive, and they were doing simulcast from the theater. So the theater was already full of the participants, and then this is the overflow into Studio B. And one thing that we do on board our ships is we can do simulcast from one lounge to another at zero cost to you. You all know that if you do this on land, it costs you a lot of money. So it's a big savings. Different lounges that we like to show you, they're very beautifully appointed. No need to hire a DMC. We can do welcome receptions, forward receptions, meetings where we move all the chairs facing forward. We have pop-up screens that we can have with projectors. And it's just great spaces that we have on board for any event that you might have. A little larger spaces, for example, on our Quantum class ships, Seaplex, which you can do, of course, team building with a bumper cars or basketball, but you can also use this for meetings. We have large meetings that are hosted in this room. Our solarium as well, that we have lots of groups that ask, well, we're at sea, so I want to have a welcome reception outside. Of course, we'll offer this, and especially if it's an Oasis class or an Icon class, it has a capacity of up to 1,600 guests. Just a beautiful appointed venue for your welcome reception or for our reception. If you're looking at an Oasis class ship, so Boardwalk and Aqua Theater, just great spaces, large spaces. You can do buyouts of these spaces. So for example, and we had an insurance company recently that did a buyout of Boardwalk and just had all their participants privately in this room. And guess what? At the last 40 minutes of their reception, we gave them an aqua show complimentary. You must have the full capacity. You cannot have a buyout for, like, let's say 300 guests and then have a show. It must be for the full full capacity of the room. Beautifully appointed rooms, Royal Caribbean. We spared no expense. This is the largest presidential suite on board Oasis class, but we have other accommodations. So for example, interior rooms, ocean view rooms, infinity balconies where you have a larger space and you open up the sliding glass doors and it just becomes part of your room. Ocean view with balcony, which is the most requested for incentive groups, and neighborhood, either Central Park or Promenade, for the guests to choose from, depending on the budget, of course. So beautifully ocean view, panoramic suites, junior suites, just beautifully appointed rooms, and we will help you select the best room according to your budget. Dining options. So as I mentioned, not only do you have the traditional group dining in the main dining room at no cost, which we will seat your group together in one area, and we welcome the tent cards or company flags. We have also, in your suite, you can have dining. There's also specialty restaurants that we have on board. We have the steakhouse, the Italian, etc. We do have lots of MICE groups that do what we call the dining rounds, or they want to do a buyout. They want to do maybe 2 buyouts where they're privately in a specialty restaurant and they can make announcements. They can do small presentations, maybe announce their next incentive program, destination, etc. So there's lots of complimentary dining on board as well as specialty dining. Our beautifully appointed dining rooms. So for example, this is on an Oasis class, our Freedom class, and on our Voyager class, we have these 3-tier dining room. Again, we'll seat your group all together in one area. The specialty dinings that I mentioned, Chops Grill, which is a steakhouse, perfect for a buyout. We can give you the capacity for each restaurant. We have Jamie's Italian on board, also another specialty restaurant available for buyout. Izumi, which is a great experience. Usually the VIPs, a smaller group, has this experience. The Hibachi. So just something to keep in mind. And then let's start the activities and customization options on board. So again, as I mentioned, Royal Caribbean offers all these has all these venues on board. So we want to ask you, do you want to do any type of team building? We have lots of flow rider. We've had groups that have done evening flow riders where it's filmed and it's just a great team building activity. We have zip line, pickleball. We have the iFly. You name it. There's lots of activities on board that we can do for your team and for team building. Shore excursions, as I mentioned, we're going to ask you, would you like to see a list of our shore excursions? That department is in the MICE department, and we can work very closely hand in hand to build a great MICE program for you. The beverage package that I mentioned, the deluxe beverage package, is $75 per person, including the gratuities. 90% of our MICE groups purchase it. Spa and fitness, the entertainment, the specialty dining, you name it. Also, the VOOM on board. Royal Caribbean has Starlink, which is the fastest at sea for Wi-Fi. We have lots of very important MICE groups that need to have that Wi-Fi. And then, of course, there's countless ways to make your program really unforgettable. As I mentioned, the beverage package, the culinary options, the specialty restaurants, and neighborhood buyouts, the team building. We want to make your program on board Royal Caribbean the most exciting and different program that client of yours has ever had. Let's start now with full ship charters, which really chartering is the ultimate in privacy and exclusivity and customization. Because when you charter a Royal Caribbean ship, not only the ship is yours, private, but you can customize the itinerary. You might want to stop in a particular port of call because maybe you have your client has distributors in that port of call, and you might want to have some guest board. So you tell us where you want to go, and if the ship is able to go there, depending on the knots and the fuel that it's using, etc., we can customize your itinerary. But the amount of branding that you can do on board is just incredible. So customization of the itinerary and the program, which is very exclusive, the undivided attention of all the staff on board, which are just dedicated to the participants, the togetherness, the branding that you can do, which I'm going to show you some of the pictures of the branding, is just really incredible. This is for example, one of the charters. Everyone's out on the pool deck. The band is playing. It's just very exclusive and is dedicated to this type of charter. The pool deck in the evening as well. We do a lot of music charters. If you want to see those, by the way, you can go to our Royal Caribbean website, and under theme cruises, you'll see the list of all the charters that we host on board our brand. They come on board very early. Some of them cover the pool deck, the entire pool, and that creates a stage. And really, it's just an incredible experience like no other. This is, for example, a CEO of a company welcoming everyone for a job well done, and they're on board being rewarded. And this is Seaplex on our Quantum class ship reception as well that we were hosted in this room. Over 1,000 guests, very well hosted. Music hall on board of our ships. We hosted a trade show. So this was an actual live trade show that we took some pictures to show on our presentations how well these spaces can be used for any type of event. So branding on board, especially when you do charters, we can do any branding from the elevators, all over the ship. When you charter, you can just brand the entire ship. But let's not forget, if it's just a MICE group, you could do branding in your private venue. So let's say you have a welcome reception in one of the rooms. You can do branding in that room, and we will help you with that, with the dimensions of that room, so you can have the perfect branding for your event. So you can do that as long as it's behind closed doors if it's a MICE group. But if it's a charter, you can do branding throughout the entire ship. And you're probably wondering, well, who is chartering? So we have employee incentives, customer recognitions, competitions, fundraisers, you name it. We have music charters, lifestyle charters. We have huge conferences. We do about 23 to 25 charters per year on the Royal Caribbean brand. And keep in mind, there's a ship for a charter client. It doesn't have to be the large Icon class, of course. You have the smaller ships at around 1,000 guests. And we offer for MICE groups what we call the 5% account credit. So it's a master account. And so basically you take the cruise fare of your MICE group and you times that the number of guests and times 5. And that's an account credit that you have. 90% of our MICE groups use it towards their final payment, or they can use it on board for any type of amenity. For example, a reception, or maybe they want to book some spa for the VIPs, etc. They can use that account credit. You cannot cash it out, by the way. You either use it for final payment or you can use it on board. And we do have 2 ships right now, Caribbean Sailings, which we can send you, that offer 2 extra bonus cap points, which I had mentioned earlier. So ways to use that master account. As I mentioned, the final payment discount, you can use that. 90% of our groups do that. You can use it to book shore excursions, onboard amenities, add any type of other amenities on board for the guests. Anything, the Wi-Fi, you can use it for any type, to pay any type of amenity that you've added. It's a great perk that we offer our mice groups, and it's been super successful. There's no time that we will end this promotion for now. Let's not forget the tools that we have for you. So we have individual ship brochures, PowerPoint presentations, any type of customization, you name it. As Matt mentioned, he introduced Ashley earlier. So for the first time in the history of the Royal Caribbean Mice Department, we have our Mice marketing team, which is phenomenal. And they're in our department, and they're here to help you with any marketing material that you need to launch a program, whether it's, as I mentioned, a individual ship brochure, a presentation, a video, any specialty dining flyer, anything that you might need. Just come to your sales manager. They'll contact Ashley and her team, and we can put this together for you. Because again, we have phenomenal tools available at your fingertips. So connect with us. We're on LinkedIn. Follow us every week. We have some amazing posts, great information. It's just really phenomenal. So make sure that you click on that, take a picture, and if not, we can send it to you. But with that, I want to say thank you for your participation today. I know that Matt was following to see if there was any questions on the chat that we can answer now. I think we've run out of time, but we can also get back to you and with any answers that you might need. But from my end here in cloudy Miami, and we thank you for participating in this webinar, and I hope it was informative for you.
Thank you, Clem. That's absolutely fantastic as always. I hope everyone has found the session interesting and useful. Clem, I wonder if you could share the last few slides of the deck. I just have one or two housekeeping points. I think they're probably on there.
Let's take a look, see here.
Yeah, no questions in the chat so far, but if anyone has any questions, please let us know. Okay, please can I just very quickly remind everybody that we have more sessions coming over the next couple of weeks. The next being, oh, sorry, one slide forward.
Okay, here.
That's perfect. The next session being Wintersun, oh, one slide back, thank you. The next one being Wintersun 2025, hosted by Christy, who most of you will know. And then we have further webinars, further 4 through till the end of May. So please stay tuned and join there. Thank you, Clem. If we could have the next slide. As I already mentioned, webinars are recorded and we will publish on YouTube and share the relevant link. So great if you want to go back to and refer to any one of the points Clem has mentioned today. Here's the easy way to do it. Thank you, Clem.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar. And we hope to see you on board.
Hope to see you on board. Thanks all.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.